I don't know exactly when it started. There was no special day. There was no argument. It was just a very ordinary evening when I was sitting alone in the familiar house and suddenly understood one thing. If today I were no longer here, my child's life would still go on as usual. In the past, that was impossible. My child needed me for very small things. A meal, a simple question, someone standing behind them even without saying anything. Back then, I didn't think I was important. I just thought that was how it was supposed to be. Then my child grew up. They had their own family. They had a life where I was no longer present as often. I didn't lose my child, but I slowly lost my place in my child's life. No one said it out loud. No one meant to hurt anyone. Everything just drifted away, in a very reasonable way. At first, my child still called. Not as often as before, but enough for me to believe that I was still remembered. Then they called when they needed something. Then they called when they happened to remember. And then, they stopped calling. But in their heart, they still loved me. That is the part I find hardest to name. Because when a child no longer loves you, you can blame them. But when they still love you, yet no longer need your presence, you don't know how you are supposed to feel sad. I began to understand something, very slowly. Love does not disappear. It just no longer needs my presence to exist. My child loves me, but their life no longer leaves space for me the way it once did. There are days when I miss my child so much that I only want to hear their voice for a few minutes. But I don't call. Not because of pride, but because I understand. If I don't call, my child will not realize that I am the one who is lacking. I hear my child say, "I've been busy lately." I nod. I understand. But in the silence, I also understand something else. When someone is truly important, people will find a way. When they are not, people will find a reason. I don't blame my child, because I was once a child too. I once believed parents were always there. I didn't know that to stay there for so long, parents have to learn how to become someone who does not disturb. One day, I stopped waiting. Not because I felt more complete, but because I realized waiting without being remembered is a kind of loneliness that feels very cold. From the day I stopped waiting, my child called even less. Not because they became careless, but because they no longer felt that someone was waiting for them. There are sadnesses that do not make you cry. They only make you grow smaller in someone else's life. I did not disappear from my child's life. I just no longer exist in their choices anymore. If you are listening to this now and suddenly thought about your parents, then maybe they are living days just like mine. There is one thing parents rarely say out loud. We don't need you to come home more often. We are only afraid that one day you will come home and realize we have already gotten used to not waiting anymore. Some relationships do not end with separation. They end when one person no longer exists in the life of the other.